I just can't. I just can't. He didn't deserve this. No one did, but not him.
That's Justyn Pennell. He engaged in what's called a thrill kill, where he killed someone just for the thrill of it, just to see the face of the man he was running over with his car. He randomly saw someone on the street, hung a U-turn, and killed a 75-year-old Vietnam vet. Today was his sentencing. If you don't know the backstory, here's Joy Lim Nakrin, Court TV legal correspondent, with more.
At first glance, it looked like a terrible crash, a crumpled vehicle against a utility pole, and a fatality. But according to police, this was no accident.
Because of pure evil, there's a 75-year-old man who was a father, a grandfather, a Vietnam War Army veteran who was killed.
The Army vet is Michael Pratt, and he was struck while walking along this road in Pasco County, Florida. The motorist, Justyn Pennell, called 911 and, according to police, admitted he intentionally hit the victim.
It was almost, for him, pleasurable.
Pennell passed the victim, but according to prosecutors, he waited till there were no vehicles or witnesses around and allegedly targeted him deliberately. Officers said Pennell told them he was traveling at a speed of 50 to 70 miles an hour when he hit the man. When police asked him why, he allegedly said he wanted to kill someone out of curiosity. And when asked how he felt about it, he said he enjoyed it.
He actually laughed to the detectives when he said, "I saw the victim, scared."
The former Army vet was declared dead by paramedics at the scene. The impact appeared to be so severe, Pennell's car stopped running and plowed into this pole.
This man is absolutely evil.
Justyn Pennell isn't evil but autistic and suffers from depression and PTSD, according to his attorneys. He's agreed to a plea deal that'll mean he will spend the rest of his life in prison.
You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing here today?
I'm pleading no contest to life.
Okay.
And I retain my right to appeal.
Okay.
Emotional day today inside the courtroom. Court TV legal correspondent Julia Janae is joining us tonight. I want to begin with the victim's family. This has been extremely difficult for them. What was it like for them today inside that courtroom?
Vinny, they brought the impact statement. They illuminated Michael Pratt, who we didn't know a lot about, really, because they've stayed in the shadows during this crime. We have his picture, 75-year-old father, grandfather, someone who they described as caring, as a great person that they loved being around, who lived by himself there in Hudson, Florida. And there were things in this sentencing hearing that I had not seen before. One being that Allison Fairweather, the daughter of Michael Pratt, she actually played voicemails that were left for her of her father. For the court, in open court, she asked the judge if it was okay, and you could hear his carefree, energetic voice, leaving her just quick messages, telling her that he loved her, and even saying, hey, I started driving as an Uber driver, and I got my first $20 tip, and I want to share that joy with you. So it really just brought home this person, brought him to life inside of the courtroom. And here's another thing that I rarely see. She said she came in with a statement that was prepared, but because of what she heard from the defendant and his family, she seemed to change and have a change of heart in how she would react to this sentencing altogether. Take a listen.
I have some words prepared. But I want to say it to you, Mom, and you, sister, and Justyn. I thank you for your condolences, and I offer you my condolences too.
I'm sorry.
It's not okay, Justyn, but I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I'm working through emotions, and you're taking responsibility, and I'm happy you pled guilty, and I'm happy I didn't have to hear your 911 call and your confession, because I think I would have fixated on that for a very long time, and it would have been extremely difficult.
What grace, what compassion coming
Remarkable.
from that member of the victim's family. Unbelievable.
I don't know where that comes from. You know, we cover so many cases, and sometimes victims' families are so incredible in the way they see things. I mean, because for viewers, you read the what people are posting and what we are thinking, and like we're angry, we're mad, but there's another level that so many of these folks have. That was amazing.
Empathy.
So she referenced what the defendant said and what was going on. How about the defendant and his family?
The defense had an opportunity to really paint a picture of this defendant that showed you his life. They first brought a psychiatrist to talk about the diagnosis that they wanted to get in front of the jury, but the judge didn't let that in. One of the reasons that he pleaded no contest, didn't want to go forward with the trial, that he had an autistic disorder, that he had PTSD and depression. So this psychiatrist talked about where the root of this actually exacerbating happened for him. Let's take a listen.
Starting at the end of grade school and the beginning of middle school, he started to get bullied. He would get picked on by the same group of bullies for almost 7 years. Throughout those 7 years, I went to the schools and pleaded with them to do something, and the only thing they would tell me is that their hands were tied as far as what they could do, and I couldn't do anything through the police because it was a school matter. The bullies were never spoke to or reprimanded in any way. Not when they were shooting him up with pellet guns and paintball guns. Not when he was thrown down on his face, slammed into concrete, and had his nose broken and had to take to the hospital. Absolutely nothing was done.
Mr. Pennell reported severe bullying during high school, both within his, or during middle school especially, both within his school and in his community. And the bullying was severe enough where he had a depressive episode, as a youngster, and was admitted to the hospital, also suicidal and having, aggressive thoughts at the time. And his bullying was severe enough, I hadn't previously mentioned the PTSD diagnosis, that he remains fixated and was fixated on that bullying, years later.
First, there was the defendant's mother, Dawn Haas, and then the psychiatrist who the defense had testify. This sentencing shedding light on so many issues: mental health, bullying, the lack of resources that his mother said that she had trying to get him help for all of those years. She said he was picked on by the same group for 7 years, and even though the bullying was over, that his mind couldn't let go of the problem, and those bullies were actually on his hit list of people he wanted to kill after killing this victim.
It's tragic on every single level, and it starts with the 75-year-old man survived the Vietnam War, for goodness sake, came back, is Uber driving. But he raised, you see his daughter in court, and she's amazing, so we know that he was amazing. And tough life for the defendant, and it's not going to get any easier. Julie Janae, thank you so much. Let's bring back in our think tank. Still with us, Ekla Mercy, Nima Rahmani, and Kirk Nurmi. Nima, your thoughts tonight on this? There's a lot to it here. It's not always so simple and clean cut.
It's not, and I think this is a case where Eklund and I may agree again. So it's just one of those nights that this is a mental health issue. I mean, here's someone who's severely ill, who's severely sick. That does not excuse his behavior. He absolutely should spend the rest of his life in prison. And I would never, ever commend a murderer. But there's a reason, Vinny, we see so many murder trials here on Court TV, because I don't give any discounts. And in Florida, if you are convicted of first-degree murder, you're going to serve life in prison. So the vast majority of criminal defendants, they would not have pled, because take your chances at trial. Maybe you get one or two jurors and hang the panel. He did the right thing. So I commend him for not putting the victim's family through an unnecessary trial. So good for him. Don't really know what the no contest part of it does, because I doubt he's going to have any assets in a civil lawsuit. But for me, that's the same as pleading guilty. So for once, I'm going to give credit to a defendant, and hopefully talk about public policy. We can do things in Florida and throughout this country to prevent tragedies like this from happening again.
Kirk Nurmi, I know you've seen a lot in your days inside the courtroom with different types of defendants. Your thoughts about what happened in that courtroom today?
Yeah, you know, anybody who's done criminal defense work for a number of years will see so much that there's untreated mental illness that is manifesting itself into crimes in the courtroom. And this is just another example of that. We heard Mr. Pennell's mom talk about the bullying, talk about the quest for resources, talk about the help. We heard experts talk about this homicidal ideation he had, but yet there was nothing in place, nowhere she could take him to stop this from happening. We just talked about Crumbly earlier. Was there a place where he really could have been taken to stop this tragedy? And that is, it really goes beyond criminal justice, as Julia mentioned, mental health resources, things of that nature. So if we want to get serious about these things, we have to get mental health intervention before they wind up in a courtroom in a sentencing situation like this.
Eklund, I'll give you the final word on this.
I have had the song Jeremy by Pearl Jam just playing in my head the whole time. It just seems like bullying has been a consistent underlier for Ethan Crumbly as well as Pennell. So I really think that this should show that we should change some things with regards to schools and with regards to bullying, that it does manifest. We know what kind of starts it. We've seen a lot of the school shooters really start with aggressive bullying. However, the schools not doing anything really just exacerbates it. So I think that this case, as well as Crumbly's case, should really just be just a glaring red flag to school officials as well as politicians as well as lawmakers to really look at how we're dealing with bullying in the schools, how we are dealing with helping the parents deal with the request for help to protect their children, because we do not want to end up here.
Yeah, I'll take it one step further. I think there is something that parents need to do as well. Like, we understand the position that parents of victims of bullying are in, but those bullies have parents too. And there's a level of responsibility that I think we all have as parents to make sure and keep an eye on our kids and understand what they are doing and whether or not they are part of the problem, and be able to admit it when it is in fact happening. All right, stand tight. We got a lot more to get to tonight, still ahead.